Saurav Ganguly.
Yeah.
So Dhoni could be in line to win 2 back-to-back titles now.
Yeah, he
He's
will.
a very
he will.
cool captain. He's gonna do that, and he will do that.
Yeah.
Dhoni, come on! We're gonna
Dhoni, let's do it again!
We will bring the comeback! We will bring the comeback! Go, go! India! 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 India!
All right, Nikhil, Andrew, you were making a mention of the Indian bowling and some of the lengths that some of the bowlers have been bowling in this World Cup. Can we have a live demonstration from the two of you, making it very clear to us what exactly is the point that you were trying to make here?
Yeah, when you talk about good lengths area, I mean,
We can have the two of you on the pitch as well if you want to actually
what is it
demonstrate
that
everything.
a fast bowler is probably looking at to hit the top off stump? So obviously different wickets have got different sort of bounce.
Yeah, for example, say if you're playing in Perth, a bouncier wicket, so your stock ball, you're always looking to hit the top of the stumps. That's where a fast bowler's trying to do. So in Perth, for example, your length may be there, quite full, and then you move to a place like Adelaide,
Right.
with more of an even, flatter wicket. So your length, you're bowling a bit shorter to try and hit the top of the stumps and make the ball harder for the batsman to hit. He's going to have...
allowing the ball a little more room to get the top of the off stump.
That's right. You want to allow the ball a chance to bounce. So the batsman's having to take a risk by hitting the ball on the up rather than on the half volley.
Right.
So as a rule, the quicker you can work out what length to bowl on what surface, the more chances you are of taking a wicket.
And would the height of a batsman also make a difference? Because if, say, somebody tall like you, obviously his reach is going to be much more further into the wicket.
Yes.
Can we actually have the two of you maybe holding the bat as well and demonstrating it even better?
So if you're playing forward, obviously
Right.
your reach would be much
That's
further.
right. My reach is going to be probably further than say
Rahane or one of the shorter
He's
players.
a shorter man with shorter arms and legs, so you may be able to pitch up even slightly more to him if you're really having an accurate day. But the other thing to take into account is the spinners. I can probably reach for the ball a bit further out in front of my pad if I want to knock Ashwin in on the leg side.
Right.
He may choose to drag his length back just 6 inches or a foot to me as to what he may bowl to a Rahane or a Kohli or someone like that.
Right.
So these are all things that the bowler has to sum up quickly and the batsman has to make adjustments to. If someone's bowling well, maybe you've got to go out of your crease a little bit or go deeper in your crease.
Right.
So
Okay.
these are ways you can adjust your length.
So
Right,
as a spinner, Himanshu, when you're looking to play forward, the most difficult area to try and trouble the batsman would be allowing the ball to bounce literally from your knee, just somewhere middle way of your thigh.
Right.
That's where the batsmen find it difficult to work the ball to try and get the singles.
Right. In fact, let's also get a perspective from a batsman on this. Let's go right across to Saurav. Nikhil, why don't you ask this question to Saurav?
Adi, do you think the Indian bowlers, the spinners as well as the fast bowlers have been able to get the lengths on different tracks spot on very quickly? Do you think that's an area where they've worked quite a bit?
No, I think they've been spot on, the bowlers, Indian bowlers. They've got all the 5 teams which they have played in this World Cup dismissed. They've got 50 wickets in 5 games. I think that's a very good achievement, especially in one-day cricket. You know, Test cricket you can understand as you have time to take 10 wickets, but to dismiss sides in 50 overs, I think is a special feat. They bowled really well. They bowled well with the new ball. They bowled well with the old ball. They bowled well in the death overs. Even today, Ireland were 3 down for 205, and then they got 5 wickets for 35 runs in the death overs. So overall, their performance has been outstanding. There's a lot of cricket still left in the World Cup. The important stages of the tournament will be starting very shortly, and hopefully they can continue their superb form with the bat and ball.
Right, Boria, you had a question for Dada.
You know, I actually had a question for all of them. I mean, first, I'll start with Shivani. Shivani's covered Perth and this one. I want her to compare fan passion. I want to ask Saurav. He's captain India now. He's commentating. He keeps getting mobbed. Has he ever seen fan passion similar to the one that he's seen in Adelaide, Melbourne, Perth and here? Andrew, you've been a legend of the game. Nikhil, you've played for India.
You know,
have you ever seen, and take football, take other sports into account as well, have you seen similar fans elsewhere in the world, or do Indian fans stand apart?
So let's start with Saurav, answering that question first.
No, I think I've seen Indian fans come to the ground when India plays everywhere. You know, and Andrew will agree that when India goes to Australia and plays those one-day games, India-Australia, the stands are full. When they come to India, the stands are full. You know, I've been to England, playing in England at Lord's is like a home game for India, England and the Oval. So I think Indian cricket has had this luck of fans supporting them for a while. For the last 20-25 years, they've had people turning up for India matches, especially World Cup. You look at the Australia-England game, there were 90,000 people at the MCG supporting the Australians. So I think Indian fans have been very, very supportive of the cricket. They love the cricket. You know, in a small town like Hamilton, I've seen more Indians than Kiwis here for the last 2 days. So I think we are very lucky to get the support of so many people.
Yeah, if I could just add to that, you know, I was going to mention this earlier as well, Himanshu and Borea. What has been fantastic, of course, as a reporter to cover the World Cup, this one, is that even though it's so far away from home, this is not what it was in 2011 by far. You know, everywhere you go, the atmosphere is of a home game for India, no matter where, and Borea has already mentioned the places we've played. The ratio by which Indian fans are dominating the stands is actually as big as 70-30, and I was in the stands today as well, as I was in Perth. It's really an Indian fan base that is dominating everyone. So the team is not just dominating in the middle, but also in the stands, and a lot of contingents are following the team now and traveling all over the world. Something that is a trend that is growing now. I've already seen 3 to 4 different troops and contingents and armies. You know, not just the Swami army, but other armies that have come together, and they're following the team everywhere. So it's actually a great sign for the team that didn't start as the big favorite in this World Cup.
Right, Andrew, your answer, your response to Borea's question.
I think the thing that's fascinating is just the amount of Indians. And as Dada said, they're taking over. They'll come into a town and all you can see is Indians. That's why it was fascinating to watch in Australia. The amount of people in the stadiums, I think, is what's you know, it's sort of. And if you're not there, you can't probably appreciate the noise and the amount of people that are there. But if it's 70-30, and you know, we all know the amount of noise that the Indian crowds can make. It makes a huge difference for the Indian team, I'd imagine.
Right, Nikhil, you've shared the dressing room with some of the... Okay,
Himanshu,
yeah. Yes,
Andrew,
Borea, go ahead.
Andrew, a quick follow-up. Ask Andrew a quick follow-up. If India plays Australia and Sydney, 45,000, what will it be? 35,000 Indians, 10,000 Australians?
Yeah, well, I'd say so, mate. It depends who can get in first and buy the tickets. The Indians must have someone in the ticket office here that's giving them 50% off or something. I don't know.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, gentlemen, for joining us. That's all we have on this show. News updates continue on Headlines Today.